Welcome to the Wilderness Podcast, your number 2 source for RuneScape news. Because really, your number 1 source should be the website. But anyways, we're on episode 46. I'm Dilz. Over there we got Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going with you?
Pretty good. No complaints.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, for once I got no well, actually I do have some complaints, but I'll get into that as we start the episode.
All right, well, what would you do this week?
Real life stuff. Went and saw my buddy I hadn't seen in like almost a year. So that was fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I went down, I trained down to his place on like the Friday. And that was like a 3-4 hour total commute. That was brutal.
Okay, where the hell are you going?
It's like
leaving the country?
No, not really. Kind of.
Not really.
No, yeah, it was definitely country area now that I think about it. I had to take 2 trains and a bus to get to his place. And it's like and trains are kind of like, there's like in Canada at least, they're slower. Like the Via Rail is slower than actually driving. Cause
Oh, okay. So we got the squared wheels and all that shit.
Yeah, the trains are pretty slow. And then he dropped me off on like at another train station. That was like a 3-hour commute Saturday.
Are you a hobo all of a sudden or something?
No, but
you living the hobo life?
I don't know, just commuting like all over Ontario, I guess.
My God, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of boring. I just kind of because like the Wi-Fi on the train is really bad, so you can't watch streams, you can't watch Netflix or anything. Like, you can, but it freezes every 5 seconds.
All right, what'd you do? How do you manage?
Music and a book.
What? Like a physical book?
Kindle, but you can bring physical books. Most people do.
I gotta say, what do you do? Living in the Renaissance?
Oh yeah, dude. If mobile RuneScape came out, that
Ooh, that's
that would have made my commute a lot better. My battery would have died like 10 minutes in, but it would have been better.
That's fine. That's where you go look for another passenger and ask to borrow their phone for a bit. They'd understand.
Just swap phones. They're not looking.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. So, when, on Saturday, because he had like a wedding or something, he had golfing, family golf, he had to do like on the Sunday. So he dropped me off like Saturday night at like another train station.
Alright.
And I get there, and like, I'm like, oh fuck, I have 2 hours to do nothing. I didn't even realize how early I am. So like, I like went walking down, like, it's like a pretty populated town. It's like a small city where he dropped me off. And so like what I do
what city? Where are you going?
In Guelph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not really a city, but it's like it's pretty lively. It's a nice modern little town. Nice architecture, But usually what I do is like I just kind of like wander. Like I did that in Toronto like 2 weeks ago or whatever when it was your birthday, and I did it in Guelph.
Mhm.
So I had like 2 hours to wander, and I've mentioned this before, and like, I don't know if I talked about this when I was going to your place, but I had like some meth head crack lady like freaking out at me trying to fight me at Union Station. I don't know if
why are you fighting meth heads?
Well, I'm not fighting her, but she was ready to throw hands,
All right. How'd that happen?
So I get to Union, this happened like 2 weeks ago. I'll go over quickly. Her boyfriend, or I go into Union Station because I'm going to take a train to your place. And, there's like a bunch of bags on in a row on like seats, I guess. Mm-hmm. And there was no seats. There was one empty seat, and like there was a dude sitting with the bags. So I said hi to the guy, sat down. She saw me sitting near the bags. She started freaking out and screaming at me. Some French lady, and she started screaming at me. I try and defuse the situation. I apologize for sitting near her stuff, but I mentioned, don't fucking take up 20 goddamn seats. Anyways, she like followed me around Union Station while I was making phone calls, like figuring out, what the plan is exactly. Like if I was going to your place or like another family member's place and then meeting up with you, just figuring it all out. She was screaming at me, trying to fight me, saying she'd kick the shit out of me, blah, 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 blah. But, homeless people in general, like, they have an eye to pick me out in a crowd. Like, we've gone for like...
You're taking trains everywhere. What do you expect?
No, but
they get the hobo instincts from you.
Do you remember when we went out to family dinner? Like, it was like Christmas or something, family dinner. We went downtown Toronto. Maybe it was Thanksgiving. And there was like a bunch of people outside the restaurant. I was having a smoke, and a homeless guy came up to me and started singing to me, and then asked me for money. And he picks me out of a crowd and does that. That shit happens to me all the time. Just homeless people pick me out because like I look like I'm like 15 or 16, right? Like I look really young. I have a baby face, especially with like a fresh haircut and like a shaved face. I look really young.
All right.
So that's kind of like setting up for, I'm walking around trying to figure out what's up. And I notice there's a mall like far down, like a 10-minute walk. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm going to go check out this mall. And as I'm walking there, I'm like crossing an intersection. This like crackhead like stops me, and I have Sennheiser headphones, like for when I listen to music, so I can look pretentious and whatnot. No, but I like them because they're like sound canceling and they sound good and whatever.
Sure.
And so he like gestures for me to take off my headphones, and I take them off, and he's like asks me for some money, and I'm like, no, sorry, I'm not gonna give you any change, even though I had change, but I needed it for the bus when I got off the train.
Right.
And I was having a cigarette, and so he asked me for a smoke, and I was like, no, dude, sorry, it's my last one. And like I'm saying that to him as I'm walking by him, because I'm just like, oh, he's just gonna keep asking me for shit. But like the intersection, the countdown timer was like 5 seconds left, not to cross the intersection. So like,
Time's running out.
I was like, sorry, this is my last one. And I walk away from him, and he's like, whatever, faggot. And he just like fucking screams faggot at me. I was like, whoa. I didn't say that, but I kind of was like, whoa, okay. Kind of smirked, put on my headphones and start walking, and he like followed me. He just kept following me, yelling shit at me as I'm going to the mall, and people are like staring at me.
That's where you keep one headphone off, and you're just like...
That's when I keep them both off and just kind of put my hands in my pocket and grab my keys. So if he attacks me, you can just punch him with like, keys in between your knuckles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude, that's female self-defense right there.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. But, get to the mall, and then I go to like a game shop or something. Like board game shop or like a Magic the Gathering trading card shop. And I like find one, and I like, okay, I got 2 hours to kill. I walk in, and like these dudes are playing this really weird like miniature game. And there's like spaceships and shit on this board.
Okay, so like a Warhammer kind of
It was,
style.
yeah, it's similar to Warhammer. But like I walk in, and there's only like a couple guys in there. I'm like, oh guys, hey guys, how's it going? I'm Derek. I have like 2 hours to kill, so just gonna probably sit around here and watch you guys play this. And like they're all like really nice, and find out this game's called X-Wing, and it's like EVE Online, but like a board game. It actually looked really cool.
If EVE wasn't online and it was on a table.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and they're like telling me all this shit. They're super nice guys, and so I might try and get into it, because they're saying like the town I live in has like a really strong X-Wing scene. Like there's a lot of like competitive and casual tournaments and whatever. So it's like, might get into that.
Interesting. Cool. Okay.
Super nerdy game, but I don't know. Might as well try it out. I have nothing else to do besides school when I'm in this town, so whatever.
Yeah, why not? Let us know how that goes. I have no idea what it is, or any of those like I play board games, but like Warhammer, I know what Warhammer is, and I know that you can paint the figurines, but I have no idea how you play with them and shit. You know what I mean? Like I imagine it's like playing with the plastic army men when you're a kid, like the green guys.
Well, you just with this X-Wing, I saw them rolling dice and like using these like plastic like curved type instruments to like, this is the distance you can move and this is my attack range. And they had like, the dude had like a Mastercraft toolbox, like a multi-shelf thing with all the parts to it.
Oh god.
And I was like, do I need that to get into this? Like, no. It's like $80 to get into.
You don't need it. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna want to get it.
It's like Magic the Gathering or something, where it's like $50 will get you in the door. You can buy like a starter setup, but like, there's people that have like a $6,000 collection, And
then, once you're hooked, you're gonna sell your house to buy some limited edition. I know what you mean.
But, I don't know. It was actually pretty cool. It was a really, really weird little day for me, I guess, while I was waiting for the train.
Cool.
And then I got back and watched the RuneScape tournament and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Segueing that, I guess, into RuneScape shit. I think I'm at 430 Cerberus kills now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I have 550 Kraken kills. So I've been doing.
That's pretty good.
That being said, I've been doing a fuck ton of Slayer. I'm almost 98 defense.
Okay, nice, not bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty decent. I think I'm like 150k from 92 Slayer as well. So like,
okay.
When I first started doing Cerberus, I used to have to bring a wild pie and boost to kill it. So I was limited to like 4 kills a trip. And, and like I hit 91 and I just like, I was farming. Like I like I was spent a lot of points getting Hellhounds tasks just so I can kill Cerberus and like, cause it's a really fun boss, right? And I was like playing around with like, a lot of different setups and stuff, even though I know what people say are optimal. I just wanted to try it out myself. Like I tried like Bandos legs with like a fighter torso. I tried full Torags, and I ended up selling my Bandos Tassets and spending all my cash on a Spectral Sigil.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like there's like the Elysian, there's the Arcane, and the Spectral Sigil. You can get those from the Corporeal Beast.
Yeah, that's right. Those, yeah.
Yeah, and Spectral is the cheapest one out of all of them, and it gives you prayer bonus, but its main thing is that it reduces your prayer drain by half.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I don't know if I mentioned Cerberus before, if I talked about him, but he's got this one mechanic where you have to pray flick, mage, range, and melee.
Yeah, I think you did touch on that briefly last week.
So if you pray against it, it drains 30 prayer, and if you don't, it hurts you for 30, and my issue is I have 71 prayer, so it's, it's, no matter what, you run out of prayer, and you have to quickly drink a dose, and then switch your prayers back on for Cerb, but with the shield, it makes it so it only drains 15 per hit.
Oh, cool.
And that alone, like, I sold that, so I would go in with full Torags, my Hasta, my Ceratum Godsword. I've been using that now as a spec weapon. I find it's, like, just way nicer than a Dragon Halberd. It, like, that with, like, the Spectral and, like, my Hasta and stuff, I can last, like, I have, like average probably, like, 6 or 7 kills on task, on task, but per trip. And if I get lucky with drops, I can get 10.
Okay, what were you getting before?
I was getting, like, 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
When I didn't have to boost. So like it's a huge difference. And prayer potions are like 10 to 11k each, so you're saving a lot of money too.
Yeah, no shit.
That being said though, I have like 430 kills and I've got 2 Pegasian crystals. Those are like the unique drops.
Okay, how much are those worth?
Like 80k each.
Oh,
yeah, it's bullshit, dude. My buddy has like 300 or something, or close to 400 kills, and he's gotten Eternal, Pegasian, and a Primordial. Like, Eternals go for like 2 or 3 mil, I think, he told me. Okay. Pegasian, or Primordials go for like 20 mil. And, the Smoldering Stones, which you use for the Infernal, go for like 800k. So I got dicked pretty hard for loot at Cerberus.
Yeah, do you think it's because the Ranger boots are so expensive?
Yeah, that's why.
They're so hard to get them.
Yeah, that's 100%, that's why, yeah.
So, quickly explain those crystals. You would fuse them with Dragon boots, Eternal boots, or Ranger boots, and it would turn into like a 75 defense required top tier boots.
Yeah, so you would combine them with like the previous best in slots.
Yeah.
And the Eternal boots are like 7 or 8 mil, I think, because it's mage, right? Like you're not going to really be using them unless you're bursting for Slayer on like a certain boss, but
yeah, but also they are a little tough to get because you gotta get them from the mage training arena.
Yeah,
and it's kind of a pain in the ass if you're grinding out the points.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Dragon boots you get from a drop, and Ranger boots you get from a clue because they're consistent, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I've kind of been dicked at Cerberus, but as I say that, I did a couple Kraken tasks.
Yeah.
And I posted it in Discord. I think it's kill count 518. I got the Kraken pet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
yeah, that sounds about right.
And that same trip, I get a jar of dirt, too.
Oh.
So I think it was 518 and then 548 or something, like 30 kills later.
Do you know what the drop rate is of them?
So the pet is 1 in 3,000, and the jar of dirt is 1 in 1,000.
All right.
The jar of dirt, like, you use it for your player-owned house, and it, like, just shows a Kraken. It's part of, like, your boss display stuff.
Yeah.
They go for, like, 8k on the GE, so I'm just gonna use it for my player-owned housing eventually.
Really? You know what's funny, too? Before the player-owned house, I'm pretty sure the jars were worth a shit ton, because nobody knew what they were gonna be used for.
Yeah, they used to go for a lot, but then they found out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I would have way preferred the 40 mil worth of Primordials instead of Pegasians and no pet and jar of dirt, but that being said, I don't really need to do Kraken anymore because I have the pet and the dirt. Like, I really don't like doing Kraken. I really don't.
Really? I heard it's great money and it's an easy boss to kill.
It's okay, yeah. I mean, the boss, you just sit there and pray for, like, Mystic Might. and you just kill it with your trident. It's so goddamn boring, and you just eat in between kills or juggle all the sharks that are on the ground.
Okay.
But that being said, I got like a 75 or like a 78 kill trip at Kraken, which is like a new record for me.
Wow. Yeah. That's gotta be pretty good.
Yeah, I did almost half a task in one trip, so that was pretty sweet.
I can't wait to get there myself.
Yeah. It's nice, like, I used to hate doing Hellhounds, and now it's like, I want them. It's the only task I want, because I just want to kill Serb, and then, I mean, I do skip Kraken tasks now, because I have the pet and the jar of dirt, and like, I probably should do it to make some money, but like, it's just so slow. It's such a slow Slayer task.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I finally did my Varrock Hard Diaries. My mediums, too. I thought I had my mediums done. And then I went like, oh, why am I teleporting to Varrock Square? I'm going to go to the GE. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even have this done. And I do my Zaf Staff dailies, too, right? And I just never realized. So I cranked out those, and then I did easy, medium, Lumbridge.
Why'd you do those?
Lumbridge, I have them done on my Iron Man, but not on my main account.
Alright.
So I was like, I should get them done. I need to get Bones to Peaches from Major Arena before I can complete Hard. And I can and I need like 10 levels of Thieving, and then I can do the Elites.
Oh, that's not bad. Is there a reward you want from it? Or are you just doing it to do it?
The Elites are super nice. The Elite is really nice because, with easy, medium, and hard, you get like, with your ring, you get like X amount of low alchemy casts per day.
That's right, okay.
But with the hard one, you get like 30 high alchs or something. So what people do is they'll go to when they get a Necreal task for Slayer, they'll swap to Ancients, and they'll bring like Mithril Darts or something. They'll tag all the Necreals, like, step around a corner a million times until they're all stacked up and Ice Barrage them or Ice Burst them. And then when the good shit drops, they just can high alch it with the Lumbridge Ring.
Smart.
Yeah, so if I get the Elites, I can start doing that, and at least
I don't think you get experience from the...
No, you don't get magic experience when you're high alching, but like, you do it for the money, right?
Yeah, exactly. The freebies.
And plus the free run energy is a nice little bonus too. And the ability to like block another Slayer task with the Elite done, that's like huge.
I only have like one task blocked. I have such a bad, like, I don't know what task to have a block.
I block... What do I have blocked? I have the Scarab dudes.
I don't get those. I never get them. When I was lower level, I did, but...
I got them when I was a lower level. I just don't want to unblock them and then have to block them again. I have Blood Velds blocked. I have Black Demons blocked. I have... Maybe even
I don't want to block
blocked.
Black Demons because I want to do Monkey Madness 2 and unlock the Gorillas, right? Because they count as Black Demons.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered to do the Gorillas, to be honest.
But the money...
What I usually do is I have all the demons blocked until I have like 5 or 6 totems, and then I unblock it, get the task, kill Skatizo, and then finish the task, and when I get him again, I'll block him.
Good call, okay.
Yeah. I think that's it, though. I think that's it for... Well, not that's it. I played like a lot of RS this week, but
worth mentioning?
I think it's all that's worth mentioning. Oh, I got 77 Herblore.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, I'm 1 level off from the requirements for raids, but I'm thinking I still need like 2 farming levels, and I'm just going to be planting herbs the whole time. Like Renard,
okay, you just kind of are you just making potions as you get herbs, or are you actually like?
So
buying
what
the
I
herbs
did
to train
was
them?
I had like 30 mil, and I was like, you know what? Money's just collecting. I'm not going to buy a Dragon Warhammer for a long ass time. I'm just gonna. Fuck it. I'm not worried about Dragon Warhammer. There's a lot more armor I need to buy before it, so I'm just gonna get the Herblore to 77, and then I can get to 78 just by like naturally getting it through Slayer and farming. But I did anti-fires, which it was so fast, but I spent like 12 mil and I got 2 mil back.
Okay.
So that's awful. That is horrible.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't make the same mistake I did. I just want to get it done fast, but I didn't realize how much money I was going to lose.
Almost everything in Herblore is like a huge gold sink.
Yeah. I mean, like, normally I did super strengths and I did prayer potions, because then I'd actually use the prayer potions, and super strengths I would sell and you wouldn't lose that much money.
Okay.
At least when I did them. But, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Anyways, it's enough about me. What about your week?
I don't think I did too much worth mentioning on RuneScape, but I did a few things. Did a few things now. I got the Chaos Elemental as a Slayer task.
Nice.
Not really.
The Cloud Octopus?
Oh yeah, the Cloud Octopus. I put 35 because if you don't know, when you get if you have the Slayer boss thingy unlocked for Slayer tasks, you'll get every now and then you'll get a boss, and you get to choose between 3 and 35 kills.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to go, you know what, I'm gonna go 35 kills, because let's get the pet, let's get maybe some loot, even though it doesn't really drop too much. It drops the dragon pickaxe, which is like 3 mil.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm like, alright, let's see if I can get lucky. Fucking Deagin always gets lucky, maybe I will. God, I hate that boss. That is not a good boss to fight.
Are you stutter stepping in? Are you hiding and poking?
No. I'm fighting it like a man, and it's brutal.
Yeah, dude, that's why you Darok. Yeah,
Darok.
Dude, you cake down to like 20 HP just in case someone, jumps you.
Yeah, because 20 HP is gonna save you.
Well, you can you bring Shark's the Karombron and Brew for backup, right? So you can quickly Shark, Brew, and then Karombron. You can heal up a bunch, and then I think there's like a tree or something you stand behind, you get on the other side, and you just wait for its health bar to go away, and your health bar, and you just step out and smack it once, and that's how, I've always seen people do it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do it, although Darok would be like a bad idea, because the Chaos Elemental uses all fighting styles, and you never know which one it's going to use, because it's the same magic blast that shoots out, and it can hit you ranged or mage.
Yeah, but if you're doing the stutter step method, it won't attack you back. That's what
right,
that's like.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying,
no, yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, you're right there. But yeah, no, that's risky as shit, because the Chaos Elemental's in 45 wilderness and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyways, I didn't do that. I decided I'd go. So let me just explain real quick. If you don't know the fight, like I said, it shoots like a ranged attack that you can't tell if it's going to be maged or ranged. So they tell you to put on mage protection, and then, because that's the most common one it's going to use. Anyway, so that's the idea. But he also, every now and then, he's going to shoot another attack, which is like this red orb, and when it hits you, it's going to teleport you backwards, like a shit ton of steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll also shoot a green orb at you, which is going to unequip your weapon, or depending on how much inventory space you have, it'll equip your items and shit. So it's a real pain in the ass. So for food, you want to bring stews, because it leaves the bowl afterwards, so that this way when it shoots the green thing at you, it's not going to unequip anything. Actually, when you have a full inventory, it never even shoots the green orb at you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. But still, he's kicking you back every fucking third attack. It feels like sometimes you're wasting so much run energy. Anyways, so I decided to try killing it with the crystal bow, because it has such a long range. I figured, he's going to be teleporting me back. Fuck it. Maybe I can just stand in long range and range him from afar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I also tried blowpipe, but again, with the range, you're constantly running up to it, and it makes the battles, the fight last so long. Now, this is weird, because it's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself a bit, but I found the best way of doing it was full Verox. Going full melee.
Yeah. Yeah, Verox is really nice, because you just pierce armor so easily. They have...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though you're running up to him every time, you're still able to hit some fair numbers a lot more consistently than you are with ranged.
Yeah. I find that's kind of the default bossing. You kill Calphite Queen, you can kill Sarah, you can kill all the elementals,
Yep.
You can kill Callisto, Venenatis. So many setups or bosses you just run in with Verax as a entry level type of a
and again,
setup.
though, that's the only place you ever see Verox. But yeah, I did that for a bit, and the 35 kills took me so long to do.
Dude, next time just try the Darok method and just hide and pop out and hit it.
Yeah, but knowing my luck, I'll end up somehow sculling myself and dying.
Well, maybe you'll skull but hit an 80 on some dude and just drop him.
Oh, maybe.
See?
It's funny, that quickly reminded me. I remember I was killing black demons for a Slayer task way back, and I was playing with I had a friend who was playing, or a friend that was staking, if you listen to some of the older episodes, but he lent me his Armadillo crossbow, because he's like, hey, I'm a high roller, you take it, you can use it, and give it back when you're done. So I was at I was in the Edgeville dungeon in the wilderness killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy must have, I don't know what happened, but this guy logged in and I fucking shot him and got skulled. Man. Holy shit, that could have been so bad. I ended up teleporting right out of there like ASAP, but like shit, that could have been so bad. It's like a worst case scenario, and of course I fucking do it, but yeah, so killed the Chaos Elemental, that took forever, but actually something funny kind of happened while I was in the wilderness. So the way I would get to the Chaos Elemental, if I'm not already in the wilderness, I just teleport to Anakarl.
Yep.
Is it Anakarl? The demonic ruins. So I'll teleport right to the demonic ruins, and that's kind of like it's a multi-zone, and it's one of the more popular spots for teams to kind of camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I jump in, and there's like 3 guys there, and I get killed. I just lose my supplies, no big deal. I keep all my items. And then I'm thinking, these motherfuckers, they ain't getting away with this. Fucking bust out the DDS, pull out a super combat potion, some sharks, and I teleport right back into Anakarl, and I say, round 2, baby, here we go. And I spec them, and I die again, so that sucked. So then I go back, and this time I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring Vengeance with me, and we'll try it one more time. Teleport back to Anakarl, and then there were 3 people there. This time there was 1. And I think it was level 120 or something like that, but they're rocking like full mage gear. So I instantly just DDS spec them, and I was able to get some hits, and the person just panics, starts running, ice blitzes me. Sorry, not ice blitz. Ice barrages me, and my Vengeance goes off and kills them.
Oh my god.
And they drop so many items. And I just I walked out of there. I think I got close to a 300k inventory.
Easy money.
Felt good. And then of course, I see the person in the bank, and I was like, what did you learn? Next time, just leave me alone. But no, you're in the wilderness, it's fair game, but no, it was cool. I couldn't believe that happened. And what else did I do? Did I do anything else that's fun? I don't think I did anything else that's worth mentioning, to be honest. Fuck it. Let's go into the news. You want to do it?
Yeah. I just want to ask quickly, are you going to get StarCraft Remastered? It came out.
What is that? Broad War just updated?
Yeah, I think it came out on Wednesday. I got it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I haven't played too much. I played like 20 minutes of it, and then we started recording. But yeah, dude, it's kind of cool. I don't know. So much nostalgia in that. I was just wondering if you're gonna get it.
I was a huge StarCraft 1 fan.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, I remember. Man, we played that game when we were just like really young.
I remember being 7 playing. What was that map called? Korean Defense.
Oh, Korean Defense. Yeah. Man, I miss those games. I remember coming on, I'd watch, our dad was, he was dating some girl at the time, and she had a son who would come over, and I can't remember how old he was, but he must have been 16 or 17 at the time. I don't remember. It's hard to tell now, because I remember when I was a kid, he seemed just so much older, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, he'd always play that game, and he'd always play online. I remember always watching him, and he was playing Lurker Defense.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, could I play it? He's like, sure. And then I remember I jumped on, and he just had to do a huge disclaimer, like, okay, guys, there's a child coming onto the game. Keep it civil. Don't say anything fucked up, and all this shit. I remember being like, I remember just being kind of clueless, but shit, good memories. Oh, and it's odd. I love that game so much, and I never got StarCraft 2.
Really? Yeah, StarCraft 2 is very, very different from StarCraft 1. I've played I played a lot of StarCraft 2, not as much as the first one, and they're just like 2 completely different games.
Okay. I don't know, I might get it, but that seems kind of stupid to get StarCraft. How much does it cost? Is it like a $60 game?
$80? No, it's 20. It's $20.
Oh, okay, man.
Yeah, it's just a remastered.
You made me facepalm a bit there. Okay, that's I don't know, maybe I'll look into it, because I did enjoy that game a lot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, earlier this week when I was killing Cerberus, I have a friend who's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing RuneScape. And when I'm killing Cerberus, me and my one buddy will just say oh, we're killing the dog or something like that. We'll just refer to Cerberus as the dog.
Yeah, okay.
So they're like, okay, well, cause usually if I'm playing a Steam game and it's a single player, they'll just watch me on Steam.
Alright.
And, so they're like, what do they're asking what the hell do you mean by killing the dog? But I wouldn't really explain it to them, just kind of, just troll them for a bit. So I ended up like going on Twitch and like streaming it for them for
Oh, cool.
probably like 4 hours. Like it was a couple times throughout the week, just like whenever I had the task, and they're like, "Oh, let me watch." I'd like, "All right," and I felt so bad because random people just like kind of join in and they'll just like hang out for a little bit. Like I'll look over and it's like 5 people in here, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I've just been sitting in silence listening to music. Like, this is I don't know. I just felt really bad. I just want to mention that it's such an awkward feeling, just like having people watch you play video games. I don't know. It's
different.
I kind of felt like I had to like start trying to like talk more and try and talk to them, and it's like too much pressure.
I can't do this.
Yeah, it's way too much for me.
I tried streaming one time just to see how it worked, get a feel for it, and can't remember what I was doing, but I was just doing random shit. I remember just forgetting, and I'd like look over, and it was like, "Oh, you have 5 viewers," and I was like, "Holy shit, I got 5 viewers!" And I remember just going full. I tried to be like a full streamer, right? And just like, "Hey guys, welcome to the Dilz show," or whatever, you know. Thanks for hanging out, and I start talking for like 10 minutes. I look back, there's just 0 viewers. I'm like,
For fuck. Yeah.
How long did they leave?
Yeah.
How long ago did they leave? Shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I shouldn't talk. Maybe that'll get more viewers if I'm just in silence.
I just like found it awkward because I'm just like listening to music, killing the dog, and then just like people are watching. It's like, do I try to talk to them?
Yeah, sometimes you like kind of hum along with the song, just
get a phone call and like they just hear me say some weird ass shit to my buddy with no context. And it's like, for fuck.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Anyways, want to get to the news?
Not really. No, yeah, of course I do. But actually, before we get into the news, I want to just talk about something that I saw pop up, and I just wanted to... Actually, this is part of the news, so... First piece of news. Did you see that Jagex claimed some Guinness World Records?
Really?
Yeah, did you see it?
No, what are they?
So I noticed, and honestly, I saw this, and I was like, yeah, I could see this 100%. So, again, this is Jagex, or like, this is... more of the Runescape game, not old school Runescape, but, you know, whatever. But they have most original pieces of music in a video game, which stands at 1,198.
101, wait, what? What's the number coming from?
It's the most original pieces of music in a video game, including expansions, which is the original piece of music number is 1,198.
Oh, that's how many like original pieces of music they have.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I'm not surprised. Yeah, they have so much, like, so many songs.
Yeah, there's a lot. And, like, you know, I don't listen to the music in game that much anymore. But when I was a kid, there's so many songs that, like, we all would get nostalgia for hearing, like, the Lumbridge music come on or...
Sea Shanty 2?
Sure. Yeah, there's a few other ones. Most users of an MMO video game, which as of the 25th of July... was 254,994,744.
But 250 million of those are bots, though.
Oh. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
And then lastly, it's most prolifically updated MMORPG video game at 1,014 updates.
You know, I'm not, like, surprised with those Guinness World Records, because, like,
yeah,
I have, like, 5 RuneScape accounts, maybe more. I have 5 I can list. I have 3 Pures and 2 Iron Men and a main, so I have 6. That's off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm probably up there, too.
And then all the accounts I made when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And most people have, like, multiple accounts. And then...
Oh, definitely.
The music doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they have so much songs. And, what was the other one?
Oh, really good music, too. I'm always surprised. I've said this before, but I'm always throwing a RuneScape track at the end of these episodes, and I'm always like, this is a decent song.
Yeah. And then, yeah, the prolific updates, like most updates, like they do weekly updates that, like, have an actual effect. Like, most MMOs don't update that often. Like, playing it's like WoW and shit. You like...
That's why they call them patches, right? They have a giant patch of, like, more than one update, obviously. But yeah, and this is actually going along with some older Guinness World Records that they currently have. Are you ready for these?
Yep.
Most fish in a video game. 8 billion have been caught in 2012.
Jesus.
The first MMO video game to release an old school version. And most video game related forum posts per day, which was set in which was set June 2013 with 27,000 posts were submitted every day.
How many of those are memes, though?
Yeah, I feel like I should have left those 3 Guinness World Records because they steal the thunder from the first 3 that we mentioned.
No, but it's pretty sweet. Like, so was that 6 total?
Most fish in a video game. 8 billion were caught in 2012. It's just like, wow, I wonder how much fish are actually in the waters that we're fishing in.
Yeah, overfishing is not an issue in Gilnor.
Not that I've noticed.
Yeah. You gotta thank those 3-tick fishers that do the barbarian 3-tick fishing, you know?
Yeah.
Really adding to those numbers for us. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Do you think RuneScape has Guinness World Record for MMO with most Guinness World Records?
Ooh, I don't know.
We'd have to look into that.
Yeah, the only reason I'm like, maybe, is because if they're giving Guinness World Records for the first video game to release an old school version, and again, most fish in a video game, then I wonder what some of the other titles that, you know what I mean?
I wonder what game took the title for most like logs cut in a game, most trees chopped down.
Yeah, exactly. Or the game with the most cow births per day, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always seeing new cows popping up in the, right? So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if World of Warcraft has a Guinness World Record for like first Tauren character in a video game.
Yeah, first cow playable character. Yeah.
Anyways, I saw that. Thought it would be fun to mention. And yeah, now let's talk about what we've been seeing in the game.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about the PvP. Do you want to talk about the championship now, or do you want to talk about that after the updates?
Let's do it now.
All right, so Saturday, Sunday, they had like the PvP championship. They had a 1v1, a 5v5, and a 20v20 bracket. And yeah, how much of it did you get to watch?
Saturday I was watching it, like, it's funny, I had my notebook here and I was taking all these notes because I was like, I'm following this hardcore. So I was watching it from the start and all that stuff, and then I got a phone call or something and I had to go do shit, and then I just ended up missing the end of it, sort of. Mm-hmm. I watched Saturday and then I jumped in on Sunday and watched that as well.
Yeah, I mean, what was your favorite bracket? Did you have a favorite?
It's hard because, like, I felt like I was getting more into the 1v1s.
Yep.
But the only problem is it felt like a lot of the fights were very similar.
Yeah, that's tribe raiding. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Like most people have the same gears and stuff. But it's pretty cool to see some of the techniques and stuff, and the casters were pointing out things that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I don't know if you want to go into some of the finale battles, but yeah, they were just pretty cool to see some of the tactics. I'm like, I never would have thought of that in RuneScape, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like ice barraging someone, standing on top of them, and then like swapping to an AGS under them and like quick specking. Yeah,
and you do that so that the person can't tell what combat style to pray against.
Yeah.
And another thing that was interesting was, this was in the finale, and this was pretty cool, was one of the guys would step on him, and then when he would attack the person, he would click on a diagonal tile so that the person who was barraged couldn't melee him back.
Oh.
So he would click on a diagonal manually and then click on the, click to attack him. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. That's some, like, League of Legends orb walking shit.
Yeah, it's some good thinking.
Good stutter stepping.
Yeah, I found watching all the brackets, like the 5v5 and the 20v20 were just like fiestas. I mean, I've never been a big fan of like the big fights because it's just piling on people and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of bugged me that Rot fought their second clan, the Tropical Parrots or whatever.
Oh, is that their
like their team B, I guess? Which, I mean, that's fine. I don't care that Rot had 2 teams in the tournament, but like they put them against each other and then the Parrots just threw.
Yeah.
And I like remember just being like that. And it kind of killed, like, my want to try to get into, like, the clanning. But I couldn't really get into the clanning because it's just, I don't know enough about it. It just looks like a big shit show where, like, this person's tanking and everyone's piling in with, like, ballistas and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the 1v1s were pretty interesting. But yeah, like you said, you're, like, the meta is, I guess, kind of set for tribe raiding. Like, it's just the kind of, like, the same setups against each other. Like, the odd, like, this guy's using a different set of legs because of this, but...
Do you think people are afraid to be more creative?
Well, like, what can you do?
Like, in the first, like, I was watching it, you'd see some guy ripping out D-claws to use in kind of the earlier fights.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this guy has D-claws, well, this person has an Armadillo God Sword. But then, like, as it got closer, you know what I mean, to, like, the semifinal stuff, and you're like, okay, everyone's using no one's really experimenting, they're all picking, like, the safest options, right?
Well, like, like, these people, like, have experimented, they experiment, like, every day, right? Like, this
yeah,
is, like,
yeah, I know, that's true.
They know what works, like, at least with the AGS and stuff, you, like, the whole point of that is you can one-tick switch to it, so you switch to it and spec at the last second, and they can't, like, they're like, oh, fuck, and they get hit with, like, a 70 and die.
Mm-hmm.
And then with D-claws, like, the numbers aren't instant, right? They kind of come in slowly, and the spec animation's kind of long, so, like, you can easily eat through it.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. I
think it was Monty versus some dude, I forget what his name is, like, Adrian or something in the semifinals. Like, that was probably my favorite because there was a point where they're both out of food, right?
Yeah, okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. My big gripe though is I seriously think that in the brackets of 1v1s, it should be a best of 3. And then the final one should be like a best of 7 or a best of 9. Which sounds like, oh my god, that'd be such a long tournament. But like, when you're watching like the tournament, they'd have like they went up to they did the semifinals and they did all that stuff, and then they would just switch to the next bracket and do that. Like they wouldn't like kind of go through a whole like if they have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they dedicate, or like even like Thursday, Friday, whatever, they just like have like set days dedicated to certain brackets, and even like the 20v20, 5v5, they can just be best of 1s or something. But the 1v1s, like, because it's like very RNG based compared to like if I spec you and you have your like mystic robes or your mage setup on and you're not protecting melee and I hit a 0, where like, you know, I made the right decision to like spec you when you are wearing like your weakest gear without the right overhead, and I hit as like that, you got punished, you know what I mean, for making the right decision, and that's fine, right? And like that'll happen. But like watching Monty fight that one dude, he would hit like 270s and a 50. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, like throughout the best of 3, maybe it was in the finals or something. I don't know. But I remember seeing a lot of 70s, a lot of 50s, and the other dude's specs were like shit. Yeah. And I was kind of like, dude, you eat like a 70 spec, that's 2 sharks and then like a brew or something, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's huge on your inventory.
Oh, definitely.
Obviously, it's not like all RNG. Like there's a lot of skill to hybriding. Like I can barely switch my gears, let alone having to manage overheads and my offensive prayers. Like I can't do that, right? Like I know there's a lot of skill to it, but if you have like a best of 3 just in the regular bracket, it really does take out RNG and stuff, or like it minimizes it a lot more. And then in like a final, you know, it's like a 7 or 9, like it's, you know, it's maybe 20 minutes or something, but like, or it could be like a long finale, but you know what I mean? Like League of Legends has like best of 3, and those games they can go like 50 minutes each. You know what I mean?
Well, they did do a best of 3 for the finals.
Yeah, but like I found that a best of 3 wasn't enough. Like 2 wins and then you win. Like it's like very if they had like a best of 3 throughout everything, and then a best of like 7 or 9 for the final, I would have been happy with that. Plus, it like allows you to see like if mind games go down, right? Because like with the whole thing that you're saying, and we were talking about, you like walk under the person and then like AGS them. You know, sometimes they'd step out and just hit him with a crossbow shot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like it'd be cool to see like in a best of 7, like seeing how much the mind games evolve, where they kind of get used to how each other are playing, and they're trying to like you know, if you watch like
trying to figure out the patterns and stuff, right?
Yeah, if you watch like Street Fighter tournaments or any fighting game type thing, like they're all like mechanically good at the game, and it just like boils down to like, oh, this is like their 4th game. Like look at the mind games that are going in. And same thing with like UFC and stuff, right? Like
you see that with tons of things when it's like it's kind of like a 1v1 sort of thing, like League of Legends as well. So many times I remember like, let's say, you know, mid lane, we're going at it, and you can start noticing patterns where like, if I do this person always thinks I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like,
can,
mind trick games them and shit
are huge, especially like at top level hybriding where like everyone's like, I doubt it's like, oh, he switched to the wrong prayer, or he got, you know, he didn't drink a prayer potion and now he's out, and like that stuff doesn't happen to them because they're good enough. And like, and plus RuneScape in general, like in those types of fights, like it's very, very even in terms of they have the same level, they have the same gear. same inventory pretty much. Like and so yeah, a lot of like advantages come through like outplaying and outsmarting. So like I don't know, that's all. Like, I overall though, I did like the tournament.
Yeah, it was good. The negative I had with 1v1s is I felt there was not as many KOs as I thought there would be.
Oh, dude.
In every fight basically ended in whoever got exhausted from their food and supplies.
They mentioned up until at least the semifinals, there's only one KO that went down.
Mm-hmm.
But in tri-breeding, like people, like a lot of like the PK community does complain that you save to 112 or 120. Like that's kind of like a little meme they joke about, that you're always sitting at full health because like you can eat a 70 spec. Like how ridiculous is that? And if they stack it in one tick and they do it all like properly, like, you know, you can literally get like comboed out in like half a second.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? And then my gripe, like I enjoyed the 5v5s as well, but my gripe was as soon as the first team lost someone, like way earlier than the other team, it was over for them.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it became a 5v4, it was like, it's game over. And I was kind of disappointed to see that.
Yeah.
And then...
But that's just how it goes, right? You have 5 damage outputs compared to 4. It's like, well...
Oh, yeah, no, I hear you. I was surprised by how obvious it was and how big of an advantage you get all of a sudden.
It was the same thing.
Like, I was
Sorry, go?
I was kind of hoping, like, you'd get a team that has, like, 3 guys all rocking G-Mulls, and they'd go and, like, waste their specs, taking out 2 people. You know what I mean? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you have a team with no specs, but they have 5 people versus a team with 3 people, and they all have specs. But it was not so much of that, right?
Yeah, I noticed the same thing with the 20v20. Like, oh, this guy, they lost a man early, and then it would just snowball out of control from there. It was like, now they're down, like, 3 people.
Generally. Like, there's a couple fights where I saw them lose 3, and then you know what I mean? They were kind of keeping on par, like they were kind of moving down the kills with their opponent. But the one thing I did like about the 20s is when they would put the when they would put
the audio, they tap into their Discord or whatever and listen to them speak. And
they would play the audio of the teams, and like I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. A lot of it was just like, ice barrage him, pray, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how that stuff always goes though, where it's like on Dilz, get Dilz, Bliss's on Dilz, and like that's what the comms usually are, but like, you, like, in that type of shit, like, even in even stuff, like, there are people that, like, go into, like, zombie mode, and they just kind of, like, aren't listening, so you have to, like, sit there and yell it over and over and over again, and then also you can't have the excuse of, like, oh, I thought we were going on Deagin. It's like, well, you fucking dumb? You dumb or you deaf? You like that type of thing.
Yeah, just like, I don't know why I'm bringing up World of Warcraft again, but you know how many times someone steps in the poop and they just die, and you're like, stop stepping in the poop. Okay, who keeps stepping in the poop?
Yeah.
But
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, even though the comps are generally like that, like, it's still, like, pretty intense. It's nice.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was better than just like, alright, anyone gonna DDS? I'm gonna never mind. Someone, let's DDS them.
Yeah.
Alright, let's.
I don't know. I don't know if I was watching 5v5s or the 20v20s, but when we were talking about, like, a PvP, I swear, dude, Jagex must listen to our podcast. We'll, like, talk about shit that we, like, oh, we should try and do this, or this should happen, and then it happens. They make an announcement a couple weeks later, but...
What do you mean?
Just with the PvP tournament shit, but when we were talking about, like, a hypothetical PvP tournament a while ago, and you mentioned, like, you said something like, it would be cool to see, like, a team come out with a different strat where, like, somebody is on lunars and they're healing people and giving specs.
Yes.
And I remember, like, disagreeing, but like, dude, that's kind of dumb. Why would they ever do that? And I was watching, I think it was a 5v5 too. One of the others. I don't know. And I just see, like, a heal other go down and a vengeance other. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. I can see the use of this now. Okay. I can see like, this guy is, like, not tanking properly, and he just gets, like, fully healed by a guy with lunar. I'm like, okay, now I see the use of this.
Yeah, I saw a fight with that too. Yeah, a person was getting piled, and the person jumped on him to heal his teammate. Obviously, the healing in RuneScape's different. You give your health to someone else. Yeah. But, like, still, when the person's going, pile Deagin, they're not... It's hard to change into a new target. That's healing them, right?
Unless it's, like, something that, like, okay, this guy has lunars, like, but that doesn't happen. Like, it's too much, like, you want to burn the guy ASAP.
Yeah, you just pile them, and, you know, you don't want to split the group up, but...
Yeah,
I was happy to see that. So that was some of the cool things about the 20s and stuff like that, and the 5s.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping, and I know they talked about this too, is with the more tournaments coming on, I hope we start seeing more of a meta get developed. I know you say they practice, but I'm sure a meta will develop just because of these PvP tournaments.
Or like,
I think it's
a counter, like an anti-meta, where it's like, these guys are always doing this, so I'll do this just to counter it, and hope it works, like, type of a thing. Like, you see that in, like,
exactly.
all, like, every type of game.
Mm-hmm.
Like an anti-meta. Yeah, overall, I liked it.
It was fun. I was surprised at how long it was. Like, I guess I should have assumed, but I didn't expect to go all day Saturday and all day Sunday.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot of fights to go through. I would really like to see, like, okay, we're gonna have, like, a big-ass bracket. I'm just throwing a random number, a bracket of 200 total people.
Okay.
And then all the clans can sign up. Groups of friends can sign up, whatever, just like whoever, first come, first serve type of a deal. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, once it's top 20 or something, then they start streaming it, kind of a thing. Like, I want to see more of a community. I don't mind them inviting people, but, like...
Do you want it to be like an actual season, similar to sports, that spans across a couple months or something?
That would be pretty cool. But
maybe not months, but weeks or something with RuneScape?
That would be pretty neat. But, like, I would like a lot of people complained where it's like there's a lot of, like, people were saying that, like, there's a lot of good tri-breeders that weren't invited to the 1v1. But it's like, why not just have, like, a massive bracket where, like, everyone goes in, make it like a best of 3, have rules where, like, someone records or whatever. You don't even have to have an admin. Just like, okay, somebody should record this, you know, agree, or both of you guys should record and then submit the winner just to avoid, you know, people lying about it, who won, or, you know, disqualify no-shows, like people that just don't show up. But have, like, a really big bracket where, like, a lot of people can go, where it's like, okay, at this time the brackets are opening, so I'm gonna get my team in there. And something like CSGO's, like, CEVO Open and shit like that, ESEA Open, like those leagues, like, you know, types of leagues, I guess, I don't know. Then stream from, like, a certain... I just want to see everyone have a chance. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Kind of stumbled around that point, but I just want to see, like, the average person have a chance to, like, sign up and do this. It'd be really neat. Yeah,
no, it seems weird to be speculating how, you know, the tournaments going forward are going to be, since we still have more to talk about. But what would you say to kind of how, like, the UFC and MMA does it, where it's like, you know, they do it, like, every week, where they have, like, these fights that go on, but they have, like, a champion that holds the belt. You know what I mean? And you have, like, a ladder that people climb and then challenge the champion. What would you say to having an old school RuneScape PvP, like, someone having the title as PvP champion that you could take from them eventually?
That'd be pretty sweet. I'd like that. But like I said, though, how would you get the average Joe to, like, have a shot? Well, I don't mean, like, get bad players to, like, play, but I mean, like, you know, so just prevent people screaming streamer favoritism or something, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, people were, like, memeing and saying that Bodhi took someone else's spot in, like, in the bracket, where, like, there's a lot of people that are better than him at tri-breeding, but he got a spot because he's, like, you know, the poster child of RuneScape.
Yeah, but it's just, like... Again,
I mean, this is their first one, right? They just want to get the name. They want to get the idea of, like, a hybrid or a tri-breed tournament out there. That's why I totally understand why they did it.
Yeah,
like,
and then, yeah, they're gonna miss some people, right? Because, like,
of course, you can only
some
have so
people
many.
are probably just, like, they just probably don't even really promote themselves too much.
Yeah.
The really only people who know how good they are either their opponents or their friends and stuff like that. So eventually they'll start coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some more of like this type of tri-breed go down, these tournaments, because it's like, it's fun to watch. It's new. I agree. It's something different. Like, I don't watch Twitch too much because it's all the same shit.
Generally,
it's League of Legends tournaments, CS:GO tournaments. All the streamers are the same. They refer to everything as ours and we. And hey, boys, look what we just found. Look at this sweet gun we got in PUBG. Let's freak out over every minor thing. And then, like, the RuneScape, like, tri-breed, you're kind of like, oh, this is really weird to watch.
Oh, yeah. I mean? Twitch has its community in itself, right?
Yeah.
Just how it works. But, so yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. It sounds like you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Let's talk about who won the tournament.
So, in 1v1s, Monty took first place. He's, like, a streamer from Finland.
Yep. So we got to see some Finnish pride.
Yep. I I think Rot won the 20v20, right? I don't remember, actually.
Yeah, Rod won the 20v20. And the winner of the 5v5 was Future of Old Style, or Fools.
Oh, yeah, because their Finnish team, right?
I don't know. And then for the 20v20, it was Rot won. Reign of Terror won the 20v20.
Of course.
And yeah. And naturally, there was a bit of fallout afterwards. Did you catch any of that?
The DDoS allegations?
Yeah, some DDoS allegations.
Yeah.
So during the tournament itself, there were some disconnects in some of the fights where they would restart it, and then like there's a few times where the shoutcasters had to like, well, what's that? We're gonna remake the fight. It sounds like. Yep, sounds like they're gonna remake the fight. So they'd get something would come through their earpiece telling them like something was not right. So yeah, that seemed to have happened a few times throughout it, and then obviously you start seeing some outrage on like Reddit and stuff like that about being DDoSed.
It still amazes me that getting DDoSed is such an issue. Like, there's easy ways to prevent it. You can Google Destiny's DDoS prevention guide, and it's a guide just how you can't get DDoSed. And like all streamers, because streamers used to always get DDoSed, so that's when the guide kind of first came out, and people have just been using it. Like I've never had to have been DDoSed. I don't do anything that makes me like, I gotta protect my IP so I don't get DDoSed. But like,
you ain't a target yet.
Yeah, not yet at least. But I don't know. Like, I seriously feel like, especially when there's like a whole meme about raw DDoSes people.
Mm-hmm.
And I call it a meme because like I can't, like I don't. It's never happened to me. Like, you know what I mean? I can't confirm it, so I'm just gonna call it a meme. But if you go in with you're going against someone with like a reputation of like flinging sand in your eyes. You know what I mean? You're not gonna like just stare at his pockets waiting for him to do it. Like, you gotta like kind of prep for that. Like, if you get DDoSed by people that have been known to DDoS, like, that's kind of your fault. There's easy around, I guess it's too hard for them, but there's easy steps to like prevent it from happening.
Yeah, that's what I was reading, was like when people were complaining about it, it was many of the other the opposing team members of some of the fights, they would come out and say like, we disconnected and stuff like that. Here's some proof that we were DDoSed or whatever. And you did see some disconnecting and stuff, and a lot of the time they would remake the match when they could. Mm-hmm. I guess sometimes they may have missed it, but yeah. And then I was reading people being like, "How the fuck do you keep getting your shit leaked?"
Yeah, I do. When they listen to the Tropical Parrots comms in their voice, when their voice chat, and like they're against Rot and they're just sandbagging. It was actually really funny because like they're just like being silly and stuff, but somebody's like, "All right, guys, disconnect your routers, Jagex, they'll redo this, disconnect your routers." And it's
God.
It's funny because obviously they're kidding, but that also could have been a thing too, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, as much of a possibility that some people would DDoS, I would not be surprised if someone got dropped early in a fight and they're just like, "Guys, pull it."
Yeah. I do think
on DDoS.
For the next tournament, Jagex should say, if you disconnect during a fight, that is your issue, that's your fault. And then they give them resources to find out how to prevent DDoSing. Cause I know your IP gets leaked like on TeamSpeak and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And most like RuneScape clans and shit use TeamSpeak. I mean, I used to use it like religiously, but me and my friends have all switched to Discord just cause it's free, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
I didn't really like paying money for a server, but
no, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think if Jagex were to just like give them some resources on DDoS prevention, and then just say, if you disconnect, it's your fault. Like, that's kind of like what they should do.
That's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be, it's going to come down to like when they had that Deadman tournament, and you would have people trying to kind of exploiting. I forget who it was, but they were going to files and unnoting food to eat. Mm-hmm. And it became a huge controversy afterwards on who should have won, because technically one person lived, but he was exploiting. And then they just put the disclaimer, we can kick you out of the tournament at any point.
Yeah.
So once they started saying that, you stop seeing all the exploiting. So I feel like, I don't know if doing that for the DDoS part would fix things, but hopefully it just make people more careful. I'm super ignorant on it. So like, honestly, like, if I was thrown in this tournament, I could see myself getting DDoS, but like...
Well, honestly, you're the person that wouldn't if you're doing 1v1s because you're not in random team speaks with people and shit, right?
Fair enough.
You're not like looking for people to boss. Let's join this team speak. Like you're like, I'm just gonna do my own shit and shred. And yeah, I'm not gonna get involved with shady people, I guess, in the community.
Yeah. Guess so. So yeah, there's some controversy there, but again, all allegations, you know, you can't really say for sure. There was a video that got really popular on the subreddit called like, here's all the proof of them being DDoS, but, you know, it's hard. Plus, you know, but yeah, you know, I guess unfortunate things happen, whether you lost a connection or somebody DDoSed you. Sucks, but hopefully people can do a better job preventing it for the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, shall I move on, or do you have any final thoughts? I
do want to say, I don't know if you were there for the end of it, when they kind of interviewed the Rot leader about their win.
I didn't hear him talk about the win, no.
So they were asking them questions and stuff, and one of they were asking him questions, kind of like, you know, so what'd you guys do to prepare for this? What are some of the strategies you guys thought? You know, this, that, and this, asking him questions, and he's kind of answering it. But something I thought was funny was they asked him, for people out there who aren't currently in clans, you know, how can they get involved? Because Oldschool Runescape had tons of clans in the past. I remember when I'd randomly join a clan of like 30 people, and you were always having clan wars with other clans of that amount of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There were hundreds of clans back in the day. So the guy was asking, how can you get a new player who's not in a clan to maybe start a clan or, you know, get into the clanning scene? And I thought the answer was kind of funny because he said, people shouldn't be, I'm just going to say it like how I remember, but he was just basically saying people shouldn't be making their own clans. Just join one of the bigger ones. And it was like kind of like it just seemed like it crushed the dude's question. Like it was like, oh, that's the answer. Like that's kind of demoralizing.
Yeah, I can see why though, because these bigger clans have put way more time and effort in making it, and then you know you could join like a 20-man clan, and then someone just gets bored and quits, right? And then the whole clan's done. You're like, oh fuck, that was a waste of time.
Well, no, there's still 19 people, right? But like what I'm saying, it's you know, but like clans meant to be fun.
Yep.
Normally it starts off with like a couple friends just hanging out, and then
he was probably talking about like a competitive clan type of a deal.
You know, I get that, but like, you know what I mean? It's just like, the way it sounded was like, yeah, there's no space for new clans to be in this game.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not going to see any new clans in the championships. It just seemed kind of funny, but
yeah. Well, that's like competitive stuff, right? Like there's totally like groups of like 5+ friends that just get together and kill people in the wilderness or whatever, and they just have fun with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
It was just, I wasn't expecting that answer, let's just say.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. Anyways, yeah, and then after PvP tournament, we got dropped on a nice little announcement, a little surprise for sure. Did you catch it?
Maybe.
I don't know which one you're referring to. You should just
All right, we'll go right into it. So, they're bringing another event following this one.
Oh yeah.
This one's called Wilderness Wars. So anyways, I called my lawyer up and I'm trying to sue Jagex right now because, you know, to take that, you know, that's the name of our show almost,
yeah.
Right? So
pretty much.
We'll see if that gets changed. But anyways, yeah, they're this new event called the Wilderness Wars. Like I don't want to call it a tournament because it just doesn't really seem like a tournament in the sense as Deadman mode or the PvP tournament was. But the way this is going to work is there's going to be 5 generals, and the generals are going to be like, you know, Bodhi and, you know, pretty renowned people in the game, like other streamers and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And each general is going to get, I think, 50 codes that they can give to people for their recruit their own little army. And on August 26th, it's going to be a battle of 5 different teams.
Yeah, it's good to mention that the generals will also have boosted stats.
Yes.
So they don't specify, but they'll say that they're going to be in the hundreds, so they're going to be like dropping kids. Like they're going to be dropping the average person. And so the generals don't get instantly killed, and like the streamer's like, well, you know what I mean? 10 minutes or 10 seconds into a fight, the streamer's just kind of like staring at Lumbridge. Like, all right, guys, thanks to this, you know.
Exactly. And like, yeah, this is definitely more of an event. It's more of just a fun event.
It seems like it's a really, really cool idea. I love it. I want to see like the strategies and like how are they going to take out these generals with really high stats? Are they going to just focus on wiping the teams first?
Well, the thing in the what they had specified was you don't have to kill the team. When the general's dead, the team dies with the general.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And they also mentioned that there's going to be bosses spawning, and there's going to be, there's going to be bosses within the wilderness, because there already is. And you can kill them to get loot, maybe some food, some more resources and stuff like that.
It's a really, really neat idea. Like it's kind of like bravo, nice Jagex. It's like, I think it's going to be really cool. I'm like really excited to watch it. And
yeah, the winner is going to be taking home $15,000.
Yep. So the generals of the Wilderness Wars, the 5 generals, they are Bodhi, MMORPG, Sick Nerd, Torvesta, and Nightinator.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good. So yeah, those are the generals there. If you want to get a code from them, if you want to be a part of it, you better get a code from them. So start harassing them now.
Donate $80 to all of them while they're streaming. Ask if you can join the team.
Yeah, so that's gonna be coming on the 26th of August. Wow, that's just around the corner. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, keep your eyes out on that.
Yep.
And it's gonna be happening at Insomnia 61. I looked that up, and it's just like this gaming convention. Is it named after a player named Insomnia 61? I don't know.
I have no idea. Sounds
like it though. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, be super sweet. I wonder how they're gonna do, is the general just gonna take all the money, or is everyone gonna get was it $300 or something?
Yeah, I don't know, because even giving out that's 50 people you have to divvy out money to.
Well, they would do the same way as they did for the last tournament. It's up to the general to give the money.
Yeah, and I'm saying the general having to divvy it out though.
Yeah, a lot of PayPal transfers going on that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
anyways,
yeah, it's super sweet. I'm excited.
That's pretty cool.
26th of August at 3 p.m. UTC. So you can translate that to whatever time zone you're in.
Google it.
Yeah, buddy. So I think that's it for PvP/tournament.
Yeah, that was that was everything that happened on the weekend, and that announcement followed the actual tournament itself. But
yeah,
let's hear some of the dev blogs we got coming up.
So for the dev blog that they released on the 16th is the OSRS mobile. They gave us a little update and how kind of going through some of the stuff. They've mentioned things like how on desktop when you click you get a yellow or a red X depending on if you click on something or not.
Yes, yeah.
And they're kind of saying how it doesn't really work as well with mobile, so they're going to try and figure out a way to make it nicer, better.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And they just kind of talk about how they're still toying, they want to have a good left click, right click equivalent, and easy menuing and all that and jazz.
Yeah, they want a really nice, intuitive, mobile screen, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have the whole pinch zoom rotating, they want all that nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's gonna be multiple options and a lot of customization for the mobile, because a lot of people do prefer things. Some people like having arrow keys on a touchscreen for their games to move a camera around, and then some people like the ability to pinch zoom and spin.
Right.
So they will have a lot of different options on release.
Cool.
And they're gonna have a virtual type of a keyboard, and they've talked about that. So when you can type, you tap the chat box, keyboard comes up when you're entering in numbers for skilling, and what else? I don't know, random stuff you're in your player-owned house and you're teleporting around or whatever. All the options you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. They're talking about the idea of adding a keyboard option, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah, if you're familiar with mobile gaming, you'll know that especially MMOs or games that are online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and half the time you'll have chat options, but they're kind of hidden. And once you click it, your keyboard pops up, and that's when you do your talking and shit. It's kind of annoying, but it's really the only way you could do it that I can think of.
Yeah,
unless you want an external keyboard plugged into your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
And also with the keyboard, they're talking about moving the chat would be at the top of your screen, just because.
Yeah, so you actually see what you're typing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they do show us some earlier stages of what the UI would look like, and if it's all pulled out and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's pretty nice. They're still, like,
Looks good.
obviously, they're gonna be toying a lot with the interface, because the interface has to be, like, on point for this to work.
Oh, yeah.
And, because, like,
Last thing you want is, like, it looking like RuneScape 3 with, it's so cluttered, and you have, like, a centimeter window to look at your character.
And, like, I've always relied on clicking on the mini-map, and I think they kind of realize, like, yeah, it's nice on mobile, but you're probably gonna want to click, on the screen to move around, because it's just it's more precise. So, yeah, so they're aware of how important interface is, and they haven't shown us, like, they've shown us, like, the beta, the early stage of the beta, and a lot will probably be changed by the time, like, beta codes go out, and even on release.
Mm-hmm,
definitely. But, on the topic of, like, interface, they're adding, like, resolution scales, so depending on the size of your mobile and your tablet, they'll have, like, 640 by 1136 to, like, 1440 by 2048. They have, like, a lot of different resolutions, which is really nice. And it'll be pretty nice for your phone. You can set it up. There's, they're talking about, like, the compatibility between OS and Windows, all that stuff, and, like, the performance and whatnot. Like, I think it was today I found out that RuneScape's capped at 50 FPS. Which I didn't know that. At least on my OS buddy, it's capped at 50 FPS, and it is for everybody else too.
You can check FPSs now, can't you? There's an option in game to check what your FPS is at.
Yeah, there probably is. I've always used I have the OS buddy option that I'll toggle on and off.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it on an early episode, them allowing you to check what your FPS rates are.
Yeah, there's like some weird command. But yeah, it is capped at 50, which... So I don't know if they're capping it at 50 on the phone too. I think they are.
Is that going to be a problem?
No, because apparently the game can only go up to 50 FPS. That's what I was reading about today when I was like, why? I was looking up why is this game capped at 50? I'd like to raise the cap, and they were kind of just explaining that's how the game works, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so...
I want to cut in real quickly, though. I love the picture they put with the mobile. It's just like 5 of the Jagex mods sitting outside on a hill, all playing on their phones, and they're all just got big smiles on, like they're having the most grand time.
Yeah.
Probably just woodcutting, though.
Yeah, probably, like, going to pick up their shit because they tried bossing and they died.
Yeah. Getting scammed at the GE.
Yeah.
You guys made this game. How do you keep getting scammed?
Tell you what, mate. Give me your torture. But,
that's funny.
Yeah, they're still in beta. They're just talking about, like, they're going to be releasing the beta invites after RuneFest sometime. They don't have a specific date yet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So they haven't really given us exactly what the mobile is going to be about. It's kind of like what they did with the raids, where they kind of explain or the map, when they redid the map, where they explain some of the issues, and they, like, this is what we've considered. These are, like, kind of like what we tried, blah, 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 blah. And talk about some of the feedback they've already gotten, all that stuff. So, yeah, I think around RuneFest, they'll probably at RuneFest is when they're going to fully show mobile. That's probably why they're saving a lot of the information. Definitely. So just so they have something to show at RuneFest.
That's going to be like the fucking nuke.
Yeah. So, moving on to actual news. Well, not actual, but in-game related news that has affected us this week.
Yeah.
Runes and ammunition pickup. So they have changed the ability, or they've added the ability to pick up runes. Like, if you have, like, say, nature runes in your rune pouch, and you pick up nature runes, they'll just go straight into the rune pouch.
Cool.
Yeah, which is real nice. Same thing with, like, arrows and whatnot.
Is it toggleable like you wanted it to be?
Yeah. So you're gonna speak to the magic tutor to do the rune pouch toggle, and the range tutor in Lumbridge to change the range toggle.
I feel like that's something a lot of people aren't gonna know unless they read that.
Yeah. They're gonna be like...
So how often do you go back to the magic tutor?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Never.
This is, like, really specific. Like, you might as well just toggle it on now before you forget, like...
Yeah, that's the thing.
I've yet to do it, but, like...
The magic one I'll probably never do, because I don't think I could be damned.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, but,
it's
like...
nice.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be, like, someone's complaining about, I have to drop stuff to, like, get this, or, you know what I mean? Talk about
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you can just go to the tutors and set, and, like, oh, what the hell? Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like you should be able to right-click your Ava's accumulator, maybe. I feel like that would make a little bit more sense, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's also with, like the blowpipe and stuff too, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, magic tutor for rune related stuff and the range tutor for range related stuff. Anyways, so they're having a Fossil Island login screen competition.
Nice.
So yeah, you know when you log in when like Monkey Madness 2 came out and Inferno and the raids, like they have like a special login screen.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like a community little event, I guess. So you have to submit it in a JPEG format. Keep that in mind. And it has to be the same size as the image that they have on the website, which is, I have no idea what that image is, to be honest. I don't know what the size of that is. I kind of wish they gave a number just so you could open up Photoshop and instead of having to save it.
Yeah, they just basically say copy this picture and
yeah, I'm pretty sure what they're implying is open this up on Photoshop and then, you know, do your editing on that image and then send it to them.
Okay.
And so like the whole thing is like, if you look at the image, it is like half of the screen pretty much. It's like one pillar to the middle, and the whole thing is that they just mirror it. So I guess that's how they've always done it. I've never really realized it's symmetrical. Like they do half of it and they flip it. Makes a lot of sense. But that is kind of lame because like it does kind of take out some of the creativity.
Yeah, like there's a giant mountain on Fossil Island, so like, you know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Like half the mount? You know what I mean? Like you can't do like one mountain over the pillar.
Even like bones and stuff,
right? It'd be cool to have like a pile of bones on one side or whatever. Like, yeah, I'm not super creative like that in terms of like art wise, so couldn't really just throw out good ideas. But you know what I mean? It's kind of weird that like it kind of has to be symmetrical, but
it is what it is.
Yeah, they have their reasons for that. So if you have an image that you want to submit, you got to submit it to oldschoolcommunity@jagex.com. It must include the login screen. It must include login screen in the subject of the email. So yeah. And have your design as a JPEG attached and include your RuneScape name in the body of the email.
Cool.
So title, login screen, name in the body, JPEG attached. The deadline is Monday the 4th of September. The winner will be announced on the 7th, so of the Thursday update. And you'll get a free year of membership, and then your name will be posted for everyone to hack you. So that's pretty nice.
Nice. That's good.
That'd be pretty dope.
But don't be fooled. This is just Jagex's way of getting out of some work.
Yeah.
Lazy bastards.
Yeah, for real. They're understaffed, I tell ya. Let's just hire the community.
I guess we're all working on this game together.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, with the polls and stuff, you know.
We do the easy stuff.
When jokes turn real.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. They just go over like the winners of the championship and Wilderness Wars. They kind of go over that.
Yeah, very cool. And and there's just a little bit left in this other news part, so I'll just go over it real quickly. The Rag and Bone wish list has been moved into the quest section under the moniker Rag and Bone Man 2.
Yep.
This is because completion is rewarded with quest points. So like,
if you're going for Questcape, you have to do this quote-unquote mini-game or mini-quest.
Yeah. Even though none of the other mini-quests reward you quest points, this one does. So now it's not a mini-quest.
Yeah, it was awful because I did Rag and Bone Man, and I was like, I didn't get, I don't have, like I finished, that was one of the last quests I had done.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished like all my quests. I'm like, okay, I don't have 252 or whatever. Or however many quest points you get. And I was like, this is weird. And then I like looked it up. I was like, oh, I gotta do Rag and Bone Man 2, or the wish list, sorry. And then that sucks. You have to kill like every creature and get their fucking bones, put them in a goddamn pot, and they all look the same. Brutal.
Oh yeah. Okay. And I remember like you'll always see people asking like, I'm trying to get my quest cape, but like I'm missing a quest point. I don't know where the hell it is. Like I've done all the quests, and then it's always the fucking Rag and Bone Man.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Rag and Bone wish list. So yeah, now it's consistent and people will know.
Yeah. The The green color in the quest, achievement diaries, and the chat channels have been adjusted for colorblind players. I heard people complaining about that.
Wow, they actually did that?
Yep.
Always catering, man. Mm-hmm. Always catering. Easy escape.
Yeah, they buffed bolt pouch capacity from 255 to 10,000.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of like little random things that are random, I guess.
Yeah, little fixes. They always have little fixes.
One thing that's super nice is items dropped on the floor within the Kraken boss instance will now last for 30 minutes. So
compared to what?
Like 2 minutes, whatever the default timer is.
Oh,
because
sure.
When you're doing Kraken, you can get quote unquote fucked over or dicked by getting like multiple shark drops where you're juggling. Like I've had where I have to juggle 15 sharks. So in between each kill, I'm dropping like 15 or 16 in one pile, running to the other and picking them all up. So it'd actually be super nice. I never do instances because if I die, I lose shit. And I'm also cheap. Don't want to spend like the 20k. But if I ever were to, like, I might be more willing to now because you can just drop it, put like a 25-minute timer on just so you make sure you don't forget. And then just continue doing your shit.
Okay, I know that makes sense.
So that's really nice. Tournament world, the worlds 408 and 409 are now known as Wildy War Practice, just to prepare for the event.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? I think that's everything that's kind of like
that's basically
important to talk about.
Yep, we got it. So cool, a lot of news, mainly from the tournament and all that stuff too. But it's a special week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it seems like we're going to be getting... It seems like every tournament and event is going to be followed up with another event and a tournament. You know what I mean? It seems like it's going to be a monthly thing almost.
Yeah, or there's always something to look forward to and what's going on.
Dead Man mode, PvP, this Wilderness Wars. I'm still waiting on our woodcutting tournament to be coming out. So, the skilling tournaments. Yeah, that'll be cool. All right, you want to go in the question of the week?
Yeah.
It's the question of the week. So last week we asked you guys, would you rather fight 126 naked level 3s or one maxed out account? And what gear would you use against them? I kind of regret having this question. I should have just asked if you had to fight 126 level 3s, how would you do it? Because that's what a lot of the answers we got. But so we got a tweet from Frederick on Twitter, obviously, and he says he's gonna be wearing Void and using chins against 126 level 3s. That seems pretty fair. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Gotta AoE those bitches down.
I never said it was multi, though.
Oh, shit.
Just teasing.
Just AFK with auto-retaliate on? Guthins? You're set.
Yeah, I'll be back later.
The new NMZ.
Yeah, we should have it in the game. That's gonna be the new Wilderness Wars at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you we're gonna have a tournament where it's gonna be having to do with fresh accounts, like being level 3s and shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This guy got level 20. What? Like, just from punching other noobs.
Good stuff. All right, and so yeah, that was last week's question. This week, I'm thinking, since we're coming off fresh from the PvP tournament, if there was a tournament that would be introduced to the game that would cater to your playstyle, that you're good chance you're gonna come home with a W, what would it be?
So if I had what type of tournament would I win?
If they put a tournament that's like catered to your playstyle that you think you're gonna have a good chance in, what do you think it's gonna be?
Complain about my drops, but then get good drops, but in areas I don't want them to be. RNG. Okay. Let's have an RNG tournament. How about that? I think I'd win that.
An RNG tournament? Not bad. I like it.
You kill one of every creature. Whoever comes out with the most money wins.
That's interesting, actually. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think I'd win that. I get some nutty RNG.
I end up dying and losing all the items I get. Myself, I think, probably the tournament would have to be who can gain the least amount of experience in an hour, or like over, you know what I mean? Or tournament probably being who can train skills the least efficient. Is that a proper way of wording it?
I think so. So what, you would mine your Rune S and then run all the way to Falador and then make some air runes?
A little bit. It's more like I would start mining Rune Essence and then like, I'd see something happen outside. I go walk outside and just forget I was playing. Then I come back and like, oh shit, It'd take me like 5 minutes to fucking...
Why am I in Lumbridge? Who killed me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was on a goddamn PvP world this whole time. You serious?
Oh, man. I've actually done that a few times where I was in a PvP world for whatever reason, and then I would teleport to, like... This happened when I was going to go cut U's at Edgeville, so I teleported to Edgeville, and I just clicked on the U's, and then I went to go do something, maybe take a piss or something, and I came back, I'm just dead. I'm like, oh, right.
That's what happens.
Yeah. People can kill you. So cool. Yeah, let us know what you guys, if they put a term into a game that catered towards you, what would it be? And, yeah, got anything going on next week?
I don't think so. You know, some Overwatch. I'm still grinding for plat or for diamond. Not really grinding. I just kind of play randomly, but get diamond in Overwatch. Play some StarCraft.
True. I might check out StarCraft. Seems interesting.
Yeah, you know, play some PUBG with the boys. You know, typical stuff.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. I'm hoping I can get on some RuneScape and do the typical grinding.
I'm hoping to say, boys, I got it. I got a Primordial. That's what I'm hoping next week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost at kill count. You know, I'm almost there where I my next Hellhound task, I should be getting a Primordial. In a perfect world, when it's, because a Primordial, all the crystals are 1 out of 512.
Okay.
So I think every 128 kills, you're supposed to get at least 1 crystal.
What? I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, because if there's 4 out of 100 or 512, right? Because at 512, you're supposed to have 1 of each. So, like, it's saying, like, every 128, generally, you would get, in a perfect world, I guess, you would be getting 1. And then once you hit 512, you'd have all 4, and then, you know what I mean?
No, I think you're doing the math wrong. That don't seem right at all.
Okay, well then maybe on my 512th kill, I'll get 4 of them at the same time. You know what I mean? The whole point is, like, you're supposed to be able to get 4.
I wouldn't be surprised.
At 512, you're supposed to have hit all the uniques. Not supposed to, but like...
You're supposed to?
You're not guaranteed it, but that's how the chances are, right?
Okay.
You have a 1 in 512 chance per crystal. Anyways.
But, you know, if you went over the kill count, it'd, be the first item you didn't luck out in?
That's why I'm saying in a perfect world, right? Like... In 430, pretty much, I've gotten 2 Pegasians, and that's it.
Ooh, that's it.
So that's pretty shitty RNG, where I get 2. I only get 2, and they're shit. They're the worst ones. 2 of the worst ones I could get. Anyways, I hopefully will have a Primordial next week. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, watch. I'm gonna hit, like, kill count 600, and I'm gonna get a Hell Puppy, and I'm gonna be really mad.
You're gonna be mad about that.
Yo, I ain't got the money to... I don't even use my Kraken pet. It sits in my bank. I haven't insured it yet.
True.
I ain't got that kind of cash. Spent all my arcane, or my spectral sigil.
Why don't you just... Yeah. Well,
What about you, though?
Well, you're the first person I heard complaining about a pet, so there.
They're overrated.
So you're definitely gonna take the W for the complaining.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. All right, guys, I think it's safe to get out of here. Before we get out of here, though, I'm going to let you know how you can get in touch with us. If you guys want to get in touch with us on Twitter, it's at TheWildernessRS. Facebook is facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. Our email is thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. Our in-game clan chat is WildCC. And we have a Discord. Let us know and we'll get you a link out there. You can come and join in all the fun, and whenever Deagin gets a fucking drop, you can see him rub it in your face.
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
I'll post about it on Discord, and then be like, this is the statistic of me getting it. It's a 15% chance of me getting this item. You guys jealous?
Just a little bit. Alright, and I think on that note, we should shimmy on out of here.
Yeah, see you next week. We got a little surprise. A little surprise for Dilz. That's all I'm going to say.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You're not going to be happy about it. You're not going to be happy about it. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. And speaking of surprises, 2 weeks from now, I think we got a surprise for you guys. So keep an ear out for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. Thanks for listening. This is episode 46.
47? 46? 40 somewhere.
More
than 3.
46. No, yeah, we're on 46. So awesome. Cool. Yeah, thanks a lot for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Till next time.
Yeah, have a good one. Take it easy.
Later, Gators.